Hey guys, who's on tonight? Let's give me a comment. Let's see who's here. Hey Elijah, how are you? Welcome back. Happy what is it? Monday night. So let's just chat for a minute while we wait for some of the people to come on. Yeah, I'd like to see Milwaukee come out with a plunge saw. That would be very cool. The nibbler, you know who has a really good nibbler is Makita. They have a nice cordless nibbler. It works great. All right, so we got about 10 people on. Just before I went live, I was busy doing paperwork. I got a stack of things I've been working on. Been working on a list. Do you guys do this? Do you make a list? Notice my hair's sticking up. Do you guys make a list of like jobs and things like that and try to plan out what your jobs are? Times are tough right now and people are having a hard time with work and stuff, and it's pretty stressful. So I'll open with this question. What is your biggest challenge facing you guys right now on the job site? In light of COVID-19, what is your biggest challenge? What are you guys facing? Start leaving me some comments so we can get a little discussion going. While I'm waiting for you guys to comment, I will say that probably my biggest challenge is keeping jobs going. So we had a really big job in Newton that just got shut down by the town. The town decided no more construction other than emergency construction. So now we're stuck with little jobs, porches, decks, exterior repair stuff. So tonight I signed up for the payroll protection program, which is part of that CARES Act. And if you're not familiar with that, it can help supplement your payroll. It can pay for all kinds of different bills and rent and utilities and things like that. So especially if you're running a business and you've got employees and you want to keep them and don't want to lay them off, this could give you 8 weeks of payroll coverage or something like that. So I'm looking into it and I applied for it tonight. Wish me luck. All right, let's see what's going on. So Elijah, are you talking about Hikoki, which is basically Metabo HTTP? Will Endicott is on. Will is a Toolbox Buzz crew member. Hey, Will. Good to see you, buddy. So Will says the biggest issue that he's having is just the uncertainty of getting supplies. We do new construction, so it's easy to distance and the homes aren't occupied. That's awesome. It's just you probably have to plan ahead with your I'm guessing you probably have to plan ahead with your deliveries and stuff, Will. It's not like you're just going to run to the lumberyard and just pick up a couple things. I know my lumberyard, they won't even let you in. You have to call ahead and you have to order it, wait outside. So yeah, that is some uncertain times. Our lumberyards has in this area has a much reduced hours too. So they're only open until 2 in the afternoon. George says, fortunately, my job is still going, so I don't have to worry about that. Biggest worry is who touched what when I wasn't looking. My girlfriend has asthma, so I have to be extra careful. So, George, I hope you're taking those precautions that OSHA recommended. And for example, everybody should probably wear a mask. You should probably have a wash station or a disinfectant station. If you have water, a wash station would be better. Paper towels, separate trash receptacle that you don't have to touch. You can just toss things in. Disinfectant soap, and maybe some Lysol wipes and stuff like that. So if you can provide a wash station, that's what we did on our Newton job. We had a wash station, a disinfectant station, and everybody just wore a mask. It was just safer that way. A lot of guys had gloves on anyway, which, work gloves, but something to think about. Jason Foley, another friend of ours, Jason says, people don't want us in the house, and I don't blame them. I pretty much don't want anybody probably come to my house either, but we have to find ways to be able to continue working, or we have to stop work. So if we're going to find ways to continue working, some of the things that I've done is order a porta potty on a job that we never would have thought of getting a porta potty for. Having cleaning supplies on site for the guys, stuff like that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Dave says, are you watching Trump live? I pissed myself laughing for the video he just played. I am not watching Trump live. I try to watch Trump as little as possible. Finn says, do you use much Snap-on tools? Finn, I do not. Most of the Snap-on tool users around here are probably mechanics and heavy equipment operators and stuff like that. I'm mostly carpentry. So George says, mask, gloves, goggles on at all times. I have hand sanitizer on me. My tools stay locked up I'm not bringing them home. That's smart. Even changing your clothes when you get home or taking a shower when you get home. Smart. I did that today. Just get out of the clothes that you're working in, throw them right in the wash, and just start fresh. All right. Well, we got 38 people on right now. This is kind of cool. So let's start off with a little fun thing. I want you guys to describe yourselves for me in 6 words. I love getting to know you guys. Use 6 words to describe yourself. I'll start. Methodical, organized, pragmatic, proud American. Your turn. 6 words to describe yourself. Xylent, I've never used Hazet or those wrenches. Never heard of them, actually. Hey, Paul, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. Cheers. So I'm asking everybody, describe yourself right now in 6 words so I kind of get to know who's on and who you are. It helps me out. And then once we finish that, we'll play around with that for a little bit. I want to ask you guys about your best and your worst tool purchase, but I want the 6 words first. So Simon is asking, what do you think of Baker keeping construction going as opposed to Walsh? A little bit of headbutting game there. So the town of Newton, where we're working now, just is going with the governor's recommendations, and they're shutting everything down, including us. So I'd prefer construction to stay essential. All right. Jason Foley, too much thinking for a Monday. Stop it, Jason. Will Undercott says, redheaded stepchild who builds. That is pretty close. Will, are you really a stepchild, or is that just because I call you that? Finn says, young English John Deere apprentice tool snob. Nice. I love it. C. Clary says, BTP. I don't know what that means. You're going to tell me what that means. Instagram, hardworking, Toronto living, Bosch. Paul says, inexperienced, stubborn, young, willing to learn. Love it. You are a stepchild. All right. I am too, Will. So good job, brother. Okay. Be the pro. Oh, be the pro. All right. I did that for a while. I moderated that site for a little while for Bosch. But they weren't really very, they weren't good partners. Put it that way. All right. Tell me what your best tool purchase was and why. And what was your worst tool purchase? So I got to think about this because I love tools. My best tool purchase, shit, I guess this sounds stupid, but my best tool purchase was I bought a complete set of staging with railings, ladder set, toe kick, aluminum planks, and everything. And that allowed me to do complicated jobs and work safely and more efficiently. My worst tool purchase was probably I had a rigid table saw that I did not like at all. Probably that. All right. Gary, you guys are still doing it. Gary's a hobbyist, tinkering, overthinking, overinvesting in fast tool. All right. George says best worst tool purchase is the same tool. It's a cobalt ratcheting adjustable wrench. Works horribly in most situations, but it has been a lifesaver. George, that's awesome. Same tool, best and worst. Tiny Woodshop says best purchase is the 14-inch jet bandsaw, and his worst was a rigid spindle sander. I disagree. I love that sander. I don't use a spindle. I use the belt sand attachment, and the thing just oscillates, goes up and down and spins. The thing is awesome. Elijah says worst, a cheap cat's paw. Best was a Milwaukee multi-tool. Multi-tool is pretty nice. Simon says a sprayer. Airless paint sprayer. I just painted 5,400 square feet single-handedly, almost 50 gallons in 5 days. That's pretty cool. DeWalt dust extractor. Let me see. Let me see here. Not sure about my best purchase, but the worst was a 12-volt Craftsman circuit saw. Craftsman's horrible. Their quality was great 30 years ago when they made ratchets, and that's about it. I just got that spindle sander a few days ago. I love it. Yeah, I do too, George. Will Endicott says, best was the Stanley Fatmax. It is the same tape I've used since I began working and won't use another one. Worst, my first set of cheap bags, tool bags, yeah. 4 years ago when I was 13, I got my first 3/4 snap and wrench. 4 years ago when you were 13, so you're only 17 years old, my friend. Welcome to the trades. Makita track saw is awesome, and that would be a great purchase. I didn't purchase mine. I did a tool review on it, but all right, Grizz Deluxe is a little late to the game, but he's going to play. He says, experienced, knowledgeable, generous, diligent, timely, stubborn. Hey, Wes Bartosik is on, everybody. Toolbox Buzz member. Hey, Wes, welcome back, brother. Wes says, as a contractor, it's actually a good investment to buy a fixer-upper home. Does it end up being a 20-year headache that you never want to look at? I got my house. My house was a money pit. I gutted it. So I invested heavily in the beginning. I gutted it. I only had so much money, so I got it and then got it back together. And then it was 94, and then 2000, 10 years later, I redid the kitchen, opened up the first floor, remodeled the bathrooms and stuff, spent more money because I was making more money. So I was able to gut it and get it good on a decent budget, not high end. And 10 years later, I was making more money, and I was able to, bring up the bathrooms, bring up the kitchen to a higher spec. So just a thought. All right. So do you guys remember the last live we did? I said to you, if I could have anything, what would I want? I forget what the question was, but it was something like that. If you could have anything that you don't have, what would you want? And I said I would love to have a boat, right? And a bunch of you guys commented that you have boats and stuff like that. If you had a boat, what would you name it? I'm just curious. What would you name a boat if you had it? And would it be named kind of around the trades, or would you go with something kind of funny? Let me see. Are Festool drills worth the price? I think so. I think they're a high-end, nice drill, but I think you can get the same job done with, a Milwaukee or a DeWalt and Makita. Finn, here's my thing about drills. They are expensive accessory holders. So spend your money on good bits and good accessories, and then, get yourself an accessory holder, and it's going to get the job done. Blood vessel. Oh, Matt, what's up with that? That's awesome. So Matt's last name is Blood. So Blood Vessel. That's pretty funny. So everybody say hi to Matt Blood. Matt is a Toolbox Buzz crew member, tile stud. He's forgotten more about tile than I'll ever know in my career. And he's been doing some writing and some tool reviewing with us. He's going to be hopefully doing some best practices and some waterproofing best practices and things with tile. Jason Foley, pay attention, brother. Is the Milwaukee impact wrench any good? It's awesome. I have it. It's beautiful. It works great. We're actually working on a impact head-to-head, but this whole COVID-19 thing kind of screwed that shit up. The Codfather. Oh, I love that. Will, you would call yours Don't Tell My Wife. Horizon, French name for the boat. Horizon, which would be a French name for the boat. Okay. Husband, father, Catholic, American, Californian military. All right, Andre. Thank you for your service, sir. Twisted Twist. Can you shout out Twisted Twist? All right. Thumbs detector. All right, cool. All right, moving on. Here's a question I wanted to ask you guys. I like this to be more interactive. I don't have a whole lot to talk about on my own. It's got to be interactive. So here's a question. Talking about being efficient either on the job site or here in the office, what applications do you use that make you better or more efficient? Or just easier. So, for example, I use Quicken and Excel, but like what kind of things, for example, do you use an attendance program? If you're an owner, do you make your guys fob in or click in on their app on their phone? And is it GPS activated, or do you use QuickBooks? Or what apps are you using in the office that make you better? Let's share a little bit and have a discussion about that, because I use Quicken. I don't like it. I want to maybe upgrade to QuickBooks. I use Excel all the time. Jason Foley and I do that. We build our jobs off Excel. But what apps are you using, whether it's a time card or office software, and what do you recommend we try? I'm looking for new stuff. I want to get better. What are you guys using? Paul, that's hilarious. Panty dropper for the boat. I love it. Best table saw for the wood shop is either I like the Unisaw. I like the Powermatic. Powermatic is the Mercedes, and then the SawStop is pretty sweet too. So Excel, Cutlist, and Optimizer. Okay, tell me, Gary, what is Optimizer? I've heard of it. I have no idea what it is. What do you use these for? Give me a little bit more about it. So Wes uses Google Sheets. It's like Excel. I'm familiar with Sheets. Wes, we use the Sheets also when we do the head-to-heads. We share a lot of information with that. Gmail accounts, all those things are seamless. Okay, so you're using Google Sheets and Docs and all that stuff. The unsinkable three. I love that. All right. T-sheets for time card. I'm writing that down because I'm looking for some sort of a program for the guys. So tell me, what is T-sheets for time card? I'm going to assume it's some sort of program for your payroll. QuickBooks Online Bookkeeper, accountant, and I are on the same page. Okay. All right, Jason. Will uses QuickBooks, Google Suite, everyone can access, and Chief Architect. So, Will, you're doing you must be design build. You must be designing your own stuff if you're using Chief Architect. Kaizen is not a program, but a process which removal of unnecessary processes in the workspace. Interesting, Finn. Tell me more about that. Mosaic CNC cabinet CAD program. Wow. All right, so you're doing cabinetry, built-ins, vanities, bookcases, CNC routing stuff. My boss uses Quicken, timesheets, location tracking when on the clock. What program, N8, the carpenter, is your boss using? What is that program that they track you guys on? And are you on his phone? Do you use his phone? Or is it your phone? Because technically, he can't require you to do anything on your phone unless he's paying you for that and you agree to it. So I'm curious about that. My guys would balk, or at least one of them would, I think. Gary Jenkins' web-based app to set up and optimize cutting lists. It's kind of cool. So would you do that for a house build, or would you do it for a bookcase build, or some sort of a kitchen or something like that? That's interesting. Elijah carries a small notebook, so you're not finding random pieces of timber right now. Notebooks are great. And if you watched Jason Foley and Dave Buffini and I do the Apprentice Screen to Great, we talked about notebooks and writing things down. It's super important. You guys are typing faster than I can beat. QuickBooks Online. I'll talk to you more about that offline, Will. I'm gonna upgrade to QuickBooks. Our timesheet is an app my company uses for timekeeping and payroll. Good for tracking hours. Keeps a GPS tracker. That's interesting. I like that. T-sheets. I've heard of T-sheets too. I got that written down. Timesheet. I'm gonna write that down. All right. You guys are helping me a lot. Paylocity is what my work uses for a time card. We use our phone and can clock in and out. So you can clock in and out, but can you clock in from home and then drive the half hour to work? Because if it doesn't have a GPS stamp, then you can play around with that, play games. Fish not found, error 404. That's funny, Parker. Doing it for a while, good discussion. All right, hi from Holly here in England. Hi, Holly. All right, T-sheets. All right, moving on. Sounds like the same stuff. Paylocity, I'm going to write down. And then QuickBooks. Guys, thank you for this. I've got more time on my hands with all this crazy stuff. So I'm going to look into this and I'm going to learn one of these programs and get better. Hey, here's a question. Where do you all live? I know a few of you guys, so I know where you guys live, but where do the rest of you guys live? So Holly, you're in England. Where is everybody else? Finn, I think, where are you from? Are you from Finland by any chance? Tell me where you guys are from. So Tobby Dining says he's in Minnesota. Okay. Jeff Williams is from Minnesota too. Andrew's from Minnesota. You guys had snowed the other day, and now it's like beautiful today, right? Wasn't it crazy? Brian is from Port Jeff, L.I., Louisiana. L.I. Yeah. Sean's New Hampshire. Ontario from Kevin. Finn says, sorry, Rob, love the streams, but gotta go. You're in England. Lowestoft, England. Hey, Finn, have a great night, sir. Be safe, stay healthy, okay? Andrew is in Western Pennsylvania. Oh, look at this. John O'Dwyer is from Tipperary, Ireland. John, I love that last name, O'Dwyer. My favorite is Jameson's and coffee. I love that Irish coffee. All right, Brian is from Long Island. N8, the carpenter, it's our phone. We don't really get a kickback use. Okay, that's interesting. Take care of us, but they take care of us. Good. And they need to use our phone for something personally. They let it slide. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Good to know. Pennsylvania from Ed. What do you guys think about tracking and filming workers? Elijah, I have a website and a YouTube channel. I film my guys all the time doing shit. Just did it the other day when I was reviewing those Milwaukee gloves and the T-Bone 3. All my guys have to sign a contract when they're hired that they're okay with that, and they allow the website to do that, so they can't claim rights or something. Yeah, I don't. They don't have a problem with it if they're going to work for me. Andre's from Orange County, California. Andrew says Duluth didn't get any snow. Still have upwards of a foot. Wow. Oh, we're beautiful here. Wet dream. I love that, Parker. All right, moving on. Here's a question I want to ask you guys. By the way, thank you for telling me where you live. I find that fascinating that we're all from all over the place and we're having a conversation. I wish I could do a Zoom and put your faces on. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know how many people I can have on Zoom. I'll look into that. Let's write Zoom down here too. All right, here is something. Jobsite clothing. What brand clothing are you guys wearing and why? And while you're typing in your responses, I'll talk about what I wear. I wear mascot pants and Thrive pants. And the reason why I wear those pants is I did a tool review on both of them, a product review, I should say. They were padded knee pants, padded knees. And the mascot has these thick half-inch inserts. They're awesome. And the Thrive are actually built in their gel. And I was sold. My brother, the plumber, turned me on a mascot. All of his guys, everyone wears mascot. And the reason why is they're up and down. They're on their knees all the time. They're not going to put knee pads on because they don't need them all the time, but they want to kneel down. And they're working on their knees a lot as plumbers. Well, as a carpenter, I'm on my knees a lot too. I'm on one knee, two knees, up, down, all around. So I like those pants that have the knee pad in them. As far as shirts, I just wear a Champion t-shirt that has my, it's customized. So it has my logo and our name on it, and it's a uniform. So I don't require any colored pants by my guys. They can wear whatever pants they want, but I do require them to wear that t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie, or jacket that I provide, and it's uniform. And so while we're talking about clothing, let's talk about uniformity too, because I want my guys to look the same. I think it looks professional. I think it screams professional to clients when you walk up and you're all wearing the same shirts. But as far as work clothing goes, I love the Thrive and the mascot. So let's see what you guys said, because you guys got way ahead here. One has to go mohawks, mullets, man buns. Okay. I don't know what that means. All right, great live man. I'm a woodworker and remodel in Las Vegas. Heavy winds, by the way. Heavy winds here, brother. Crazy, 70 miles an hour. Toby says if you have a Zoom chemical, you can have a limited number. All right, we'll look into that. Carhartt pants. Will Endicott says Carhartt pants. They're easy to get, and it adds to uniform style. I provide my guys with shirts. I don't know, probably Glidden. Same here, Will. Odin, what's up with that, dude? Seriously. Jason Foley says Under Armour in the summer, game changer. All right, Jason. But Jason, do you give it to all your guys? Are you guys uniform? And have you thought about doing some sort of a just shirt uniform? Gary Jenkins says wife claims I own stock in Duluth, flex jeans and fire hose. I've heard those fire hose are pretty good. Mike says Levi's blue jeans. Mike, those are horrible to work in. I mean, I guess I use them all the time at home, but on your knees and stuff, you're gonna blow through those jeans, no problem. Howie Z uses Duluth fire hose pants. Those are awesome. Will says, I also give them an allowance for pants quarterly. That's a great benefit. I never thought of doing that. I buy my guys' pants periodically. Like I bought them the knee pad pants because I love them so much. Lola, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I think you're just, I don't know if you're talking about names of boats or you just like music. Andrew says Duluth fire hose pants. Wow, that's 3. Peer pressure. Parker, that is awesome. Douglas says he's not a carpenter, but when woodworking, he wears the Rockler apron. Is that the heavy duck kind of apron with the tool pockets? That's kind of cool. That works. Elijah, I thought you were leaving. No, that was Finn. Elijah wears slip-on shoes with support socks and New Balance sport shorts. Hot summer in New Zealand. So, Elijah, I wear slip-on shoes too. I wear the Keen steel insulated, or it's a composite toe actually. I slip them on. They've got like a speed lace thing. I love those things in the summertime. In the wintertime, I wear lace-up boots if I'm outside. If I'm inside, it's slip-on work shoes. Lola J, I'm just going to skip reading her. Normax says, do you carry a tool bag or a tool belt? And if so, what's your favorite brands? So for a long, long time, I wore a CLC tool belt because it was lightweight. Before that, it was a leather belt. Right now, I'm wearing a diamond belt, mixed bag belt with suspender rig, which I like because it takes the weight off my hips. And I wish I had found suspenders sooner. And I have tool bags. So I have a mixture of some Milwaukee tool bags that have tools in them. I have some Vito Pro Pack tool bags. I've got a Crescent tool bag, and I've got them all set up as kits. So finished kit, general kit, plumbing kit, electrical kit, stuff like that. So I'm efficient. I can grab a kit and go. And there's duplicate tools in the kits too, because I don't want to have to grab a crescent wrench and put it in the other kit. I want to have what I need when I need it. So I set those kits up for success. How easy does Dickies? Let me see. Douglas, yep, it's cheap and comfortable. Elijah forgot DeWalt. Will Endicott, another note. I hate steel composite toes. Will, I disagree, man. It saved my ass many times. They're not comfortable. At the end of the day, my feet are sore, but I love it. Liquid Asset. Parker, you just won't stop. Love it. All right. Our Bondi 008 says we give a financial benefit so you guys can choose padded or no pad needs. I like that. I'm going to think about that. Jeff does Occidental bags for life. Elijah, somebody's saying why. Carhartt pants dilute. Okay, let's move on. I really like the Helly Hansen Chelsea pants. They have extra pockets, blah, blah, blah. Nice. All right, moving on. You guys like coffee? I love coffee. All right, so if you like coffee, how many cups a day are you drinking? I'm asking this because personally I think I drink too much. I'm worried. And how do you get or bring your coffee? So I'll start. I love coffee. Hi, my name is Rob Robillard, and I have a problem. I drink a lot of coffee. I start off at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning with my first cup. I drink iced coffee year-round, black. So that cup of coffee lasts me till about 9. I want another cup right then and there. I'll get another cup usually at 10. I'll have to buy that one. I bring the first one to work. I buy my second one if I can, if we're near somewhere close. If not, I go without. Sometimes I'll bring a thermos, and I will have like a Nalgene bottle that I fill halfway with water and freeze it. I'll put the coffee in the Nalgene that has the frozen ice in it, and then I'll just kind of make my iced coffee throughout the day. And then I want another coffee at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I probably do 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day, but they're decent size. All right. So Howie Z, I love you, brother. 2 pots a day. That's like what? 10 cups of coffee. Forrest Owen is on, everybody. Forrest is a friend of ours. Oh yeah, Black Rifle Coffee Company. 1 cup a day. Make it at home. 1 cup. You can do 1 cup. Wow. God bless you. Willpower. Will Endicott. Elijah, I just don't like the way they fit. I realize it. Most people. Okay. Jason has 4 cups hot black. Jason, none after PM. Do you mean none after 1 p.m. or like 6 p.m.? Because I can go up to about 4 o'clock and then I got to stop. Oh, 2. You just said it. All right. Elijah never got hooked on coffee. Let me see. Andrew Tardif, around 6 to 8 cups. Guys, you guys make me feel like a stud here. You guys look like addicts. Grizz Deluxe Portable Espresso Wakako Maker. Usually do 4 shots a day, just heated water. Howie Z has 2 thermoses he fill up in the morning. You guys make me feel so good. I love you guys. All right, Will Endicott says, I drink basically a pot a day. You did the Oxbox died. Oh, bummer. Sorry about that, brother. You did a review on that. It was a good review on Toolbox Buzz. Sean says, before pandemic, up to 2 large DD iced coffees. Just hot coffee in a travel mug. So yeah, I do DD coffee as well. I'm not going to spend the money for Starbucks, but my wife buys Starbucks beans or grinds, and I'll make Starbucks at home. So I'll make Starbucks here. I'll drink Dunkin' Donuts out in the field. I love you too, Rob. You're a good man. Thanks, Howie. Crazy Mike says, I follow your channel. How are you doing? My name is Mike. Mike, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Everybody's healthy here. All the kids are healthy. Working our ass off, trying to stay healthy and trying to keep everybody sane. Ricardo, 2 cups a day. So Blood Bushcraft says 30 ounces a day. That's a lot of coffee. That's like 3 cups, I guess, or 2 cups, cold brew. UK does tea. Yep, absolutely in the UK. How do you guys feel about making all the drinks on an on-site boss, as an on-site boss? I don't make them as an on-site boss. I wouldn't have a problem supplying a maker, but if I want coffee, I buy it for everybody. I usually go out, send somebody out if they're a lesser skilled employee, send them out, get coffee, come back, and I'll buy for everybody. All right. Get the Makita cordless coffee maker. Hey, Will Undercott, you see that? Makita has a coffee maker. We're going to try it out. All right. Let's talk about photos on the job site. Now, everybody has a phone and everybody snaps photos. But are you taking photos on the job site for specific purposes, for reasons? Are you doing it for documentation? Whether it's to show a floor joist that you repaired before you covered up with subfloor in case the inspector wants to know, whether it's some rot or some sort of a code issue that you need to identify in detail with the client. For me, it's all the above, plus detailing things for articles we write or tool reviews, right? So we're photoing all the time on the job site. Sometimes I even have a camera with us or a video camera. So do you take photos on the job site, and what are you using them for? Just have them on your phone that you delete later? Do you put them to a file? How are you using photos? Let's see what you guys have to say. So Elijah says, I take photos for my apprenticeship. So Elijah, how long are you doing it? Are you in carpentry, I assume? And how far along are you? That's awesome that you're in the trades. I want to talk about that maybe in a couple more questions. Crazy Mike is on, everybody. Welcome back, Crazy Mike. He says that I watched your channel on nail guns. I went out and bought a DeWalt nail gun, 21 degree. You're not happy with it. It has a tendency to jam when I toenail. Make sure you got the right nails. I found the same problem with mine, and I've been buying the DeWalt nails, way better than using Pass Load. So try different nails. And if not, return the thing. It could be just a lemon. All right. Sean Page takes photos to show the customer all the stuff we're doing, especially for rot repair. I do it for extras and things that were not on my scope of work, especially if I want to charge them for it. And what I'll do is I'll text it to them and ask permission to keep moving, follow up later with an email, probably save it to their folder. I keep a client folder on my desktop. Everything goes in there till the job's done. Elijah is an apprentice, guys. Welcome, Elijah. Everybody say hi to Elijah. He's been with us for a year and a half. And Elijah, you are doing what? Carpentry, electrical? What kind of apprentice are you? Logan uses it for Instagram, social media, and marketing. Logan, that's smart. That's going to get you business. Let me see. Jason Foley, blocking locations, piping. Jason, I do the same thing. I'll take a tape measure. I'll take pictures of the blocking. Sometimes I write it in my notes. Cunaman, if I said that right. Take photos for my customers so they can see what I'm doing the job. All of the above and bragging rights. Jeff Kowalski, nice. Will Undercott, he says, I need to be better about it for sure. For marketing and to document work, I'm pretty diligent with building, but see problems. Right, absolutely. Okay, same problems with the DeWalt nail gun. Oh, wow, I've seen 2 problems with the DeWalt nail gun. And if you add my problems, that's 3. Guys, try different nails with the gun. Try the DeWalt nails. I use Instagram to store them. I don't know about that. That's not a great storage. Elijah, you are a carpenter apprentice. I love it. Welcome to the trades, brother. You're going to love it. Keep a positive mind and stay focused. Find good bosses and good mentors. All right. So Howie Z says, yo, Eliza. All right. For photos for Instagram and Facebook website, I take photos of how things were wired before I replace the parts. I do that too when I take things apart, especially when I'm not doing carpentry, when I'm outside my comfort zone, plumbing, electrical, things like that. All right, moving on. What's the biggest change that you've seen to the job site in the last 20 years? The biggest change that you've seen on the job sites, in your job, in the workforce in 20 years? I'll start. All right. Let me see. Don't let anyone outwork you. That's good advice, Will Endicott. I do love you, Will. You are awesome. If you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean. All right. So biggest change in the job sites in 20 years, and what still needs to change? Let's add that. All right. So I think the biggest change on job sites in the last 20 years has been cordless tools. I remember my first cordless tool. It absolutely sucked. It was horrible for runtime, but we were blown away by it. What needs to change? I don't know. I'd like to see better PPE. I'd like to see glasses that really don't fog, better dust protection, breathing protection, maybe, impact or slash type better gloves, not these, not the ones that they have now, but better footwear, things that are going to keep us safe. All right. Master Sensei says the biggest change is going cordless. I agree. Will Endicott, engineered lumber, LVLs, of course, micro lamps, all of that stuff. Cordless tools by far, people are saying. Look at this, Elijah. You are like a popularity contest, and I love it. Lack of young help. Oh, wow, Jeff, home run right there. I want to talk about that next, but basically the skills gap. We don't have a lot of young helpers. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right. I guess that might be my subs, cordless tools. Using building science needs to change. The industry's not. Building science needs to be more well-known. People don't have a way of keeping up with it. And I think with the builders licensing and continuing education, they need to be better about educating on building science. All right, let me see. How long have we been talking? 35 minutes. All right, we'll go on for a little while. Safety, insurance, paperwork, biggest changes on the job site. I don't know about that. Impact drivers. Impact drivers were a game changer. My brother, the plumber, turned me on to impact driver. He bought me my first DeWalt 14-something volt impact driver. It was awesome. I gave it to my one of my workers, and they still have it, I think. I work for Brothers. Everything is now OSB, right? Jason Foley says, Schluter, Dietra, Weedy, Curdy board. For showers, game changer. Absolutely game changer. Pre-finished plywood, game changer. Sure. Safety and insurance. Logan says, agreed. David Perseth says, good day, Rob. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. I've used some of your apprentice talk videos to help come up with a program for my company. Thanks, heads up. Oh, nice. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work and keep being a good leader and a mentor. Crazy Mike, why is OSB bad? Swelling problems? OSB was horrible. It sucked 15 years, 20 years ago, but it's definitely gotten better now. Like the Advantex and some of those engineered products, plywood has gotten way better, way better. How about Advantech of with the tape on the seams and avoiding Tyvek? It's freaking awesome. All right, let's talk about. Somebody said earlier, I forget which one of you guys talked about it, but lack of young people in the trades. Let's talk about trade stereotypes. Do you guys think that there's still a trade stereotype? So when I was in high school, the only guys that went into the trade school, vocational school, we called them Vokies, were kids of tradies, electricians, kids, carpenter kids that wanted to follow in the footsteps of dad, or the potheads, the weed heads, the idiots, the kids that couldn't focus, the ADD kids. I was ADD, by the way, but the kids that just couldn't do regular high school. So do the trades have a stereotype? And how accurate is that stereotype today? I'm going to hold my judgment on that. Has it hurt our profession? Has it caused a skills gap? Stuff like that. What do you guys think? All right. So Jeff Kowalski says, impact, yes. Jeff, what do you do, brother? You sound super articulate and very knowledgeable. Tell me where you're from, what you Elijah, Crazy Mike, what is OSB? All right, keep moving. R Bondi 008 says, I would like to see a scheme where we can pay into a scheme for sick and holiday. Find a good boss that pays that. I pay that. We do that. Forrest says, always the troublemakers. Absolutely. Forrest, you're young. Forrest is only, I think, mid-20s, and he's seeing that still. So that's a stereotype that we've got to get rid of. At least in your generation. It was my generation too, Forrest, and that was 30 plus years ago when I was in high school. All right, so Conaman Studio says, my dad was an electrical engineer in the Air Force and went to trade school for carpentry, ended up getting a job building control panels. A lot of similarities. Definitely a stereotype. It's not accurate. Nice. Nobody's uneducated or a pothead. No, but that was a stereotype, wasn't it? That's what they called them. That's how they kind of characterized them. I feel like they were written off. It was horrible. Biggest stereotype is uneducated, lazy, and sloppy. Brian, I'm not so sure you're wrong in some of that. I've seen a lot of messy, sloppy contractors, but I've seen some really great ones too. In the UK, the whole education system is wrong. It doesn't push any kids towards the trades at all. Really? Because in Germany, they do. They have a track. So UK doesn't do that? Logan says he's 24 and he owns his own business. He's a carpenter. Wow. Well done, sir. I've had lots of respect from people, customers, etc. I try really hard to do a good job and please the clients. Can't ask more than that. William Endicott says there's definitely a stigma with kids, I believe, perpetrated by the parents. I don't believe has translated to me in my business. I feel pretty well respected. Jeff says cabinet maker, deck builder, framer worker. Worked in trades for many years. Obviously, I could tell Jeff. Scotty Arnold's in the house, everybody. Say hi to Scott. Scott's a Toolbox Buzz crew member. Hi, Scotty. When I graduated in 2001, it was the same. Kids were potheads in the Vogue schools as a remodeler, operating their own business. Good skilled labor is hard to find. They seem older than me. Yeah. Trade school, want to be Tampa Bay Tech, doesn't have carpenter anymore. Someone wants to learn to pay attention. Cell phone and social media is a killer. Absolutely. Jay says, I'm a vet and a maintenance engineer. I would love someone to follow my footsteps. German carpenters are well respected. That's a real trade. It's a real track. Actually starts at high school and goes right through college. You graduate with a college degree and a carpentry or a plumbing degree. All right, here's my opinion on this. I absolutely think that the trades have a stereotype. Uneducated, lower class, rough, crude, rude, and socially unacceptable. And it's 100% wrong. In my experience, most of the tradesmen that I hang around with anyway, except for the gypsies and the knuckleheads, are professional. They want to do a good job. They're proud of what they do. They take pride in their work. And they do the right thing when nobody is looking. That's integrity and that's quality. So how do we break that? I don't know. Other than keep doing what you do to do a good job. I do feel that it's not accurate. So I asked you how accurate it was. I don't think it's that accurate. We have some shitheads in our trade, in our profession. Absolutely, like every profession. I do feel like Will Endicott said that it perpetrated into the skills gap because I think 30 plus years ago, certain kids were pushed to the trades, and every other parent in the world said, you got to go to college if you're going to be successful in this world. My brother's a plumber, and he's crushing it. Couple of houses, place in Florida. He's crushing it. He drives a Porsche. Doesn't drive it often. Drives a van mostly, but he does well for himself. He's got 2 or 3 employees. If you want to make money in this profession, you need to own your own business or be a specialized tradesperson, skilled in one thing. You make high-end staircases. You are, you do something specialized, or you own your own business and people work for you. If you have employees, you will make money if you do it right and you're smart and you're organized and you're professional, efficient. So I do think that there are positive stereotypes about people in the trades. And I think it's guys like you, guys like me, Jason Foley, Will Endicott, Scotty Arnold, all those guys that help build that profession. My website helps present and portray the trades in a better light, sharing best practices. That whole point of that was to show the trades in a better light. And it's also translated into work for me and for my company. So think about that when you're setting up your website, your Instagram page. Don't show stupid shit. Don't put up horrible memes. Show professional work and tell why you're doing it that way. Explain why you use Schluter or Curdy or Weedy systems in your showers because it's superior to the old school caveman days of using Durock or Greenboard or whatever they used. I've seen some horrible things in my life. So continue to be that professional and let's break that stereotype. And hopefully the skills gap will catch up. I have not been paying attention to your comments because I've been babbling. Let me just look real quick here. Will Endicott says there's no doubt about a skills gap. I think things getting better though. I see younger people more interested. I do too. I'm on the Toll Brothers job sites and the kids don't want to work. Did really well, but failed completely an exam. So real qualification trades are a route. Laborers need something exciting than just moving material. I agree. You got to get them involved, Jeff. Jeff, you need to move around here and work with us. Connor Man says, Rob, I'm dyslexic, but I was able to graduate high school motor control classes, did pretty well building. I was self-employed for 25 years now in operations manager. Best money ever made trying to teach younger guys. Jason Foley, lots of ego in the trade. Good leadership and guidance is the key. Great entrepreneurs. We don't yell, we educate. Jay, I agree with you about that, but I think the ego is because people have chips on their shoulders. They've got something to prove, or they feel, at least in my opinion, the ones that have egos, the guys that I've worked with, they're either jealous of you, or there's something more than just they think they're the best carpenter in the world. There's something underlying going on there, and I've seen it with different people. And I can't really generalize that. I apologize, but you and I will chat on that over a beer, I'm sure. Too many contractors stereotype the younger guys not getting in the trades. There are no young guys in the trades. It's very hard. I just put a job interview out. I was hiring. I think I had 14 people scheduled to interview. 7 showed up. 3 were decent. 1 was okay, really good, and they were all over 40. Every single one of them was over 40 years old. They're all skilled, but they're all 40. So, I mean, they're just the young guys, the skilled young guys are not out there. Dave, our apprentice, is 30. That's not that young, but it's young for us. I'm 52. My other guy's 57 in our crew. So anyway. All right, look, it poured today, 50 to 70 mile an hour winds here in New England, in Boston area. Do you guys work in the rain? And if you do, what do you do to allow yourself to work in the rain? Do you just wear a raincoat? You put up tarps? Do you do a pop-up tent? You work indoors? What do you do? Do you look for indoor work when it rains? Stay home. Tell me what you do when it rains. I'm curious. So if it's drizzling and we're doing demo, we'll work in the rain. If it's pouring, we won't. If we can set up, we have a couple of pop-up tents. We'll pop those up like a canopy tent, put the one over the tools, the saws, and one over where we're working. We'll work in the rain if we can. If we know it's going to rain and we have inside work or other work, we'll do that. So I'm just curious what you guys do. Jason Foley is a fair weather carpenter. Jason, how did I know that about you? No rain work for me. No, my tools cost money. Yeah, Kevin, your tools can get wet. You wipe them off. Put a little oil on them. 10-3-1. 10 resumes, 3 got hired. 1 turns out all right. 10-3-1. That's not a great. I don't know. I wish it was more like 10-5-3. CT1 says, I think the issue lies in colleges and universities are the ones who started the myth about the trades. I don't know about that. Maybe. All right. Get out the boots and rain jackets, says Logan. Forrest says, I was observed a team of framers that wouldn't do anything if there was a chance of rain in Texas. Okay. Will Endicott says, we don't work outside in the rain. We will work inside. If we don't have work, we clean the trailer or other busy work. So, Will, you pay you guys to show up. That's good. You're not getting money off that, but keeps them busy. Elijah, we can't have a professional training room apprentice like McDonald's. I bet they have less bullying egos. Andrew says tools are too expensive to get when they get wet. Well, that's why we use a pop-up tent. So it depends on what we're doing. If it's pouring out, we're not going to work. But if it's drizzling or if it's off and on, we'll pull it off. If we're not working, we're not making money. So that's how I look at that. All right, let's talk about age, because I'm feeling my age these days. I just had physical therapy today for my shoulder rehab, and I'm sore. Has age affected how you work, or has age affected you at work? Some of you guys are young. I get it. But if you're older, has it affected you, and how? Tell me how age has affected you. I'll talk about my experience first. It absolutely has affected me. I'm tired sooner. I don't have the same strength or energy, lower testosterone. I find ways to work smarter, not harder. And I have to exercise. So I have to exercise to stay strong and stay competitive. And I still move on the job site. Don't get me wrong. I just don't have what I used to have. All right, let's see what we say here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here. Sean says, framing any weather on exterior. Attaboy, Sean. Logan, brushless tools handle rain. That's right, Logan. And they're sealed. Fatter, older, slower. Will Endicott. Will, you are not fat. You're definitely old. You're not fat. Jay says, I have an apprentice. She's 19, kicks ass, willing to learn. I wish I had more like her. We had a female apprentice too. She didn't work out, but she moved on. But that's awesome. I've seen more and more females going to the trades, which is great. I think it's like TV. It's like anything else. I see stuff on TV, like these remodeling shows, and they go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to be like, what's her name? And it's not like that. Connor Man says, when I was working in the shop. The only time I was worried about rain was delivery. Okay. Jay says, that's why I have an apprentice. The apprentice helps you out, Jay? I hope you don't treat him like a mule. I hope you respect him, and I hope that you help work with him. Jason Foley, when I was in my 20s, 10, 11-hour days was nothing. 39 now, 7-hour days is painful. That's a good point, Jason. 7 to 3. We have a 7 to 3 work day. Some days we work longer to get a certain task or to complete something for the next phase, but we try to stick to 7 to 3. And that gets me home in a reasonable hour and to the gym. And that's one of the things I was getting at. Bar W says, a wise teacher taught us how to work so we could work when we are older. Do it slow, grab the right tool for the job, bend properly. It's funny. I see lots of people like when they're shoveling things like sand or stone, maybe mixing concrete, they shovel and they turn. I put whatever is in front of me and I shovel into it. And everything is forward motion. We are designed to move forward, backwards, but we're not really designed to move left and right. We have to turn and twist. So you don't want to do that. So use your body lineal, bend at the knees, use your hips, use your core. 5-gallon bucket of water is heavy as hell out here, but no problem here, right? So use your core, be smart. All right. Eyesight is deteriorating with age, needing readers. Maddie, I'm with you, brother. I don't need readers, but I can't see distance. Grizz Deluxe says he's 52. He rides his mountain bike weekly and try to stretch daily. I stretch like twice a week. It's not enough. I need to do more. Forrest says just need to find more young people to do some of the work that is tougher. All right, Forrest, I'm listening to you, brother. Forrest wants to come work with us. You probably will soon. John says he's 42, roofer, 25 years in the trade. Need to swim regularly, keeps body in shape. Swimming is amazing, especially if you swim laps. It's amazing, amazing for you. Water has 11 pounds of resistance that air does with no pounding, as if you were, from running and stuff. Let me see. Cunningham says, yeah, we just tried to stent where one up because of blood thinners. Sorry, buddy. Will says, I'm not sure it's all due to age, but I definitely don't have the stamina. But I'm doing more with my business than just swimming a hammer. Will, it's about testosterone too. And as you get older, I think you don't heal as fast. Your tissue is not as strong. You're certainly not as, your muscle tissue is not what it used to be in your 20s. Sean says, 30 years old, plan to do less framing and roofing in 20 years. Finish work. Sean, smart, but learn it now while you're young. That's what I did. Do every aspect so that you understand it, you know it, you can teach it, but you don't have to do it. I don't do any roofing now. If I do a screen porch 10 feet off the ground, I'll roof it. But if it's a big job, I'm going to sub it out. Or I'll have another guy do it, or some of the younger guys do it. Crazy Mike is 55 years old. I slow down a lot. Sometimes I can't make it 8 hours. Try my best, and summer days kill me. Yeah, Mike, I'm with you, brother. Cinnamon, I think that's how you say it. Cinnamon says hello. All right, let's talk about, we just went age. Let's talk about sleep. The older I've gotten, the less sleep I need, but I definitely need more sleep. So I find I sleep anywhere between 5 and 6 hours a day, and maybe 7.5, 8 on the weekends if I'm not working. So how much sleep do you need, and how much sleep are you getting? So what do you think you need? Well, let's just rephrase that. How much sleep do you get, and is it enough? So I'm going to probably go to sleep tonight around 10:30 or 11. I'll get up at 5:30. So it's what, 6.5 hours sleep? That's probably average for me, 6.5 hours. And I wake up at 5:30 no matter what, even on a weekend. Let's see what you get. So Jay gets 6 hours. Elijah, hey, Rob, are you a fan of any YouTube channels? What's your top 5? Elijah, I don't have time to watch other YouTube channels. I'm busy promoting my own and working on my own and working. I have to think about that. I don't subscribe to any, I don't think. Will Endicott sleeps 7 to 8. I think that's enough. I'm a 9 to 5er. Wow, you're going to bed that early. Will, you're going to be going to bed soon. Eric tries to get 7. Hey, sweetheart. Forrest usually does 5 to 7 hours a night. Probably needs 6 to 7. See, I'm the same with you, Forrest. I need another hour or 2. And I feel better when I get it. I'm not disciplined enough to go to bed early enough. I can work on 6 hours, but I usually need to get 8 minimum. 7 hours sleep for Elijah, 6 hours for Ricardo. So my problem is my wife works till 9. She doesn't get home till 9:30, 9:40. I haven't seen her all day. So we hang out from 9:30 to sometimes 10:30. We'll watch a show, Netflix, binge watch something. we'll watch one show. It was really good. All of a sudden, how about one more? I really shouldn't. All right, one more. Half of one. Before I know it, it's like 11. My wife doesn't have to get up until 10 because she works nights. So I go to bed at 11. I get up at 5:30. It's not enough. So I think I need more. So Andre says he gets about 6 hours. He feels awful if I do more than that. If I sleep too much, I don't feel good either. I feel almost hungover. All right. So we talked about sleep. We should probably close this up pretty soon. We'll close in on an hour here. How about let's talk about pet peeves on the job site. What is your pet peeve on the job site? If I had to pick some, I hate sloppy contractors. I hate messes. I don't like a mess. I don't like when people treat my tools worse than they treat their own. Treat them with respect. I don't like poor quality work. People who don't really care. Just enough. It's good enough. You ever hear that saying? It's good enough for government work. That saying drives me shithouse. It's not government work, and I don't want my government to do that kind of work either. So it's not good enough for government work. I want really good government work, and I want your work to be good on my job site. So those are my pet peeves. What are your pet peeves? Cords from Maddie Fox. All right, cords are a pet peeve. You don't have to worry about that too much, Maddie, if you're willing to invest in cordless. Jason Foley, if you're still on, what's your pet peeve, brother? I'm curious. I bet I know some of them. Kevin McNeely says, someone else changing my radio off my station when I'm everyone going, okay. Jeff says, rolling up and unrolling cords or hoses improper. You don't like how they do it. All right. Will Endicott doesn't like a mess. Poor organization in all trades. Amen, brother. Andre, you don't want your house dirty. Why do you have your job site dirty? That's right. Scott Arnold hates when people don't fess up to mistakes. Own them. Yeah, man. Work the problem and own your mistakes. Most mistakes aren't fatal. Forrest says it's the little things that make someone from a good carpenter to a great carpenter. Absolutely. That's why we had that following Dave, our apprentice, we're calling it green to great. And it's a process. It's not overnight. And it happens slowly, and it happens through paying attention to details and wanting to learn and working hard. Jeff says leaving nails in the boards. Leaving nails in the boards. Do you mean like when you demo? You know, just bend them over and toss them in a dumpster? I can't see it from my house. Oh, yeah. You can't see it from a galloping horse, or you can't see it from my house. Another saying that used to drive me crazy. I mean, we joke about that on the job site, but in reality, it's not good enough. All right. Kahneman Studio says its worst part of sleeping is when you dream about your job during the Kahneman, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning working out problems or coming up with a solution or, oh, I got it. Happens all the time. And I think that's just the way our mind works. Eric says coming behind to finish interior or finish framing, and all the most difficult things were left until last. That drives me crazy. Do the hard things first, early in the day when you're fresh and have energy, and then deal with the stupid shit later. Small stuff. Jeff says, yes, when the radio is so loud you can't hear the measurements. Elijah, you shouldn't have the radio that loud, unless it's an unoccupied house or something. All right, I want to close. By the way, you guys are great. I love this. I love this back and forth. I look forward to this. I'm stuck at home like you guys. We are closing in on an hour. I probably should wrap it up soon, but we still have 50 people watching. So let's talk about Will Endicott keeps a notepad in his nightstand for something comes up in the middle of the night. That's smart. All right, pet peeve Master Sensei says pet peeve, biggest pet peeve being people not making it as much as priority as I do. Okay, I get that. I'm with you on that. All right, let's talk about this. What single quality do you value in your employee? Or if you're an employee, your boss? So my single, I'm a boss, so I'll talk about employees. My single biggest quality that I value is loyalty. I can teach skills. I can teach procedure, efficiency, methods. I dictate policy. I can't teach loyalty. You cannot teach passion, and you can't teach loyalty. If you can have someone who's passionate and loyal, you've got a great employee. and everything else can follow suit. Um, uh, Will Endicott says honesty. Absolutely. It's a whole part of integrity. Math. Yeah, I suppose you can't teach math, but we could get around that. Honesty. You encourage almost everything else. You can encourage almost everything else from Owen. Bondi says timekeeping from employees speaks volume. Well, yeah. The fudging, you mean? People fudge? Absolutely. I have one guy that is always at 40 hours every week, no matter what. There's no way that's realistic. It can't be. Let me see. Loyalty and timekeeping. I'm with you on loyalty. Eric says honesty. Just give it to me straight. We both know if you're running around. Respect. Clarity. Andre, clarity. Interesting. Okay. So when somebody wants you to hold her hand to show them what to do, let me think about that. You value that? I don't know if I think you got it backwards. I wouldn't value that. Sean says, always looking for something to do. Yeah, man. What's next? What's the next step? What can we do next? Oh, it's almost at the end of the day. What do we need for tomorrow? Thinking about that. So while we're talking about valuing employees and bosses, what personality qualities or traits do you think a good employee should have or a good leader or boss should have? So what quality or traits should a good boss have? Or if you're a boss, what quality or traits do you think your employee should have? We kind of touched upon them a little bit, but Jeff Kowalski says diligence and hard work. Absolutely. Hey, Yankee Cantrell, welcome back, brother. Came in a little late tonight, but that's all right. I don't need you to mess something up just because you can't admit you don't know. Okay, so honest, just say it. I really don't know how to do that. Can you show me? Or maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm not really good at that. I agree with you on that. I value someone being able to admit they don't know something. Oh, hell yeah. I've been doing this a long time, and there's a lot I don't know. And I've hired people that have better skills than me. They just don't want to be the boss. I get it. It's all good. Let me see. Will Endicott. I mean employees and employees for both workers and employees. That's awesome. Passion and honesty. So I'm with Will. Passion, you can't teach passion. So I want, as a boss, I'm pretty passionate, but as a boss, I want my, thank you, brother. I want my employees to be passionate about what they do and who they are and be proud of what they do. And then, like I said, I want them to be loyal to me because I'm loyal as hell. I almost swore. I am so loyal. I go out of my way to set my people up to win and succeed. And I just want them to see that, and I want them to give that back and trust me that I've got their back. But I want them to have my back too when I'm not there in the job site or doing a good job. Eric, accountability is huge. Absolutely. That's all. All this is, by the way, guys, everything we're mentioning, it's all surrounds integrity, right? Doing the right thing when nobody is looking. Integrity. See what you mean and mean what you say. I love it. Pride. Doesn't have a temper. Boss. So Elijah, I've seen a lot of bosses with tempers, and it's typically they're just frustrated and they spout off at the younger skilled employees, and it's their own fault. It's because they haven't taught them or showed them or articulated to them clearly what they wanted done. Well, they have given them the skills or the necessary tools to do that. So I blame the bosses for that. People who don't want to learn, not just to collect a paycheck. So Yankee, I've had plenty of employees like that. They don't last long, but they're a good employee. Or, for example, they might be a good carpenter, but not a good employee because they're not loyal, they're not honest, and all that stuff. So I see that. Scotty Arnold talks about pride. Pride as a boss, also pride as an employee. Absolutely. All right, Kahneman says, when your boss promises you something and they don't deliver on their promise, and thank you, Rob, for the show. Thank you, brother. That's a really good thing. If you're a boss and you say you're going to do something, you have to follow through. And if you don't, you better have a good reason for it. You better explain why and find maybe a workaround and work that problem. Or don't promise something you can't deliver. So, must like dogs. Andre, I have 2 dogs. You hear mine in the background. I have 2, a lab and a mixed lab. So I have a silver lab, and I don't know what Gracie is. Gracie, come here, girl. Gracie. I think she went outside. Anyway, All right. Look, guys, we've talked for over an hour. This has been awesome. We've maintained 50 plus almost the entire time we chatted, which is huge. I thank you. Um, as a boss, you have to be upfront, honest, but also understanding. Absolutely. So I want to thank you guys. More importantly, stay safe. Try to stay healthy. Let's raise the bar on the profession. Let's do a great job. Be good bosses, good employees, good mentors. Let's take everything we talked about tonight and incorporate it. Ninja, you have an awesome night too, brother. And yeah, we'll do this again maybe in a few nights. I don't want to do it too much because I think I don't want to overstay my welcome. But maybe in 2 or 3 days, I'll put another sign up and we'll do this again. Okay? Have a great night, guys. Be safe.